attack on the U.S. Capitol back under investigation this week as the second of 7 congressional hearings alleging former President Donald Trump attempted to overthrow the 2020 election results resumes.
He betrayed the trust of the American people. He ignored the will of the voters. He lied to his supporters and the country. And he tried to remain in office after the people had voted him out, and the courts upheld the will of the people.
Investigators said that on election night 2020, the president insisted on declaring victory.
This is a fraud on the American public. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Despite warnings from his top campaign advisors.
It was far too early to be making any calls like that. Ballots were still being counted. Ballots were still going to be counted for days. And it was far too early to be making any proclamation like that.
With the exception of a campaign lawyer, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who witnesses said was drunk that night.
Mayor Giuliani was saying, "We want it. They're stealing it from us. Where'd all the votes come from? We need to go say that we won." And essentially that anyone who didn't agree with that position was being weak.
Former Attorney General Bill Barr, the nation's top law enforcement official at the time of the 2020 election, testified the president had continued with false claims of fraud in the weeks after election night, even after it was clear he had lost.
I was somewhat demoralized because I thought, boy, if he really believes this stuff, he has, lost contact with he's become detached from reality. If he really believes this stuff, when I went into this and would, tell him how crazy some of these allegations were, there was never an indication of interest in what the actual facts were.
Election officials from 3 key states and an election lawyer from the Republican Party also said the Trump campaign's subsequent attempts to prove fraud in court were unfounded.
The simple fact is that the Trump campaign did not make its case.
Committee lawmakers said the Trump campaign benefited from stretching out those fraudulent claims, raising millions of dollars that went to pro-Trump organizations.
We found evidence that the Trump campaign and its surrogates misled donors as to where their funds would go and what they would be used for. So not only was there the big lie, there was the big ripoff. Donors deserve to know where their funds are really going.
Almost all congressional Republicans have called the January 6th committee's work illegitimate and have continued to support the former president. Hearings will resume Wednesday and Thursday this week with a broader look at Trump's efforts to use the U.S. Justice Department to falsely claim he won the election. Katherine Gypson, VOA News, Washington.